Meredith, that was marvelous. Excuse me. Hello? No, Mr. Morgan's not here right now. He went out to hire a nurse. The American Legion? Oh. Yes, Colonel. Yes, we knew that, Colonel. Yes, Colonel. Yes, sir. I'll have him call you right back.
What's the matter, Bob?
Oh, that Morgan's going to ruin us with everybody. Last week he represented himself as a general to get votes from the veterans, and the Legion boys are out to scalp him.
Yeah, here he comes now.
By George, that's the last time I'll do business with that hospital. Is my eye swollen, Taylor?
Not yet, but I see what you mean.
What happened?
I was interviewing three nurses in the dispensary when some silly orderly came along and turned on the lights.
Turned on the light.
Well, how did I know it was his sister?
Frank, what were you doing interviewing nurses in the dark?
Well, these were night nurses. I'll tell you, boys, when I'm elected to the Senate, there's going to be something...
No, wait a minute, Frank.
Yeah.
Here's a message for you to call the American Legion.
Ah, my campaign is beginning to bear fruit.
Raspberries.
Yes. Hand me that instrument. I had an idea the Legion wouldn't let down their old buddy. Yes. Oh, hello? Hello, Colonel. Yes. This is General Morgan. Why, Colonel. Yes, sir. Yes, Colonel. That's, imposter. Fraud. Cheat, yes. Yes, sir. Well, goodbye, Colonel.
What did he say, Frank?
Well, most of it was personal. But, confidentially, fellas, the Legion has found another citation in my war record, and they want to decorate me.
Decorate you? They'll black your other eye, you swindler.
What? What do you mean?
I just got through talking to the colonel.
Oh, you did? Well, I've got to go and...
Come here. The colonel said you spent most of your military career in the brig, General Morgan.
Brig, yes. Well, I was a brigadier general. Thought they had me that time.
All right, laugh this off.
Yes?
The colonel claims you were kicked out of your regiment for stealing pup tents.
Now he's gone too far. That's liable, gentlemen, and I'll sue the U.S. Army in the morning for every cent they're worth.
You're going to sue the whole Army?
Yes, and the Navy. And you can rest assured that my brother members of the Bar Association will stand shoulder to shoulder with me in my fight.
The Bar Association. Are you going to have the colossal effrontery to represent yourself as an attorney, Mr. Morgan?
Judge Mornings, sir. U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, 12th District, 2nd Session, 3rd degree. And when it comes to libel, I'm the greatest living authority on that branch of the law, and that's the truth.
Listen, Your Honor, you may fool Bob Young with this stuff, but I know that you and the truth are total strangers.
Bob, now let me tell you the plain, unvarnished story of my life. And if you doubt any point, just speak up.
Go ahead.
My law career began in my native state of Illinois, where I was born in a log cabin built by my own hands.
Don't stop me. I'll start varnishing in a minute.
Every day I trudged miles to school, and I did my studying at night by the light of a log fire. Then when I was old enough to wield an axe, I became known locally as Honest Frank, the rail splitter. I grew into a tall, gawky boy. And it was about this time that I met Nancy. Our friendship ripened...
Hey, wait a minute, Frank. That's not you. That's Lincoln.
Lincoln?
Yeah.
Lincoln. Yes. Well, Lincoln, Nebraska was where I began my practice of law.
Who's talking about Lincoln, Nebraska?
Mr. Taylor. He's a native of Nebraska, and he'll support my contention there is such a town as Lincoln. Is that correct, Mr. Taylor?
Well, you see...
Answer yes or no, please.
Yes, sir, there is.
Well, the state rests. Well, I hung out my shingle in Lincoln, and I'll never forget my first case. My client was an unfortunate man accused of stealing a chicken, 2 inner tubes, and a tennis racket. I was convinced of his innocence from the start. And the trial was over. The jury, without even leaving the jury box, voted a unanimous verdict of acquittal.
That was your first case, huh, Frank?
Yes, sir. And at the time, it didn't look like much of a start, because my client was unable to pay my cash fee. But honest lad that he was, he offered to pay me in trade.
What did he give you, Frank?
Chicken, 2 inner tubes, and a tennis racket. But, of course, the case that won me my judgeship is often referred to as the Morgan murder case.
Who'd you kill, Frank?
3 members of the jury. No, You'll find the case listed in the reports under State versus Gilhooly. New York, 347, U.S. 218, Wisconsin, 489, train now leaving on track 7. How did that get in here?
What about Gilhooly?
Oh, yes. Yes, well, they had a very flimsy case against him, but the boy was smart enough to come to the most celebrated criminal lawyer of the day, just to be on the safe side. I'll skip the weeks of drudgery I went through in building up my defense, bribing witnesses, gathering evidence. Suffice it to say that I was thoroughly prepared when the trial opened. Order in the court.
Pardon. What happened to Gilhooly, Frank?
Well, Bob, the district attorney was rather an unscrupulous fellow, and the case went badly during the trial. But when I came to my summation, my speech to the jury made legal history. I made them laugh, I made them cry, I twisted them like putty in my hands. I finally finished, and when anyone that was there will tell you, gentlemen, that if it hadn't been for my speech to the jury, they'd have given poor Gilhooly 20 years.
What happened to him, Frank?
They hung him. Well, so long, fellas. I gotta go and see a man about getting off jury duty. I guess.
Okay, Ted Pearson, it's your turn. Say, what's that you're carrying in each hand?
I'll show you, Bob. It's an ordinary container and a can, both unopened. Here, take this package. You smell anything?
Smell anything? I should say I do. I smell coffee, and it certainly smells good.
Well, that's just what it is, all right. It is coffee. And now take this other one and smell it.
Ah, Maxwell House coffee. No, can't smell a thing, not a thing.
Of course you can, for Maxwell House is packed in the airtight super vacuum can. Friends, that coffee aroma Bob spoke of coming from the ordinary container was coffee flavor being wasted. Flavor escaping while he held it right there in his hand. And that's flavor no one will ever get in the cup. You see, all coffee, whether ground or in the whole bean, flavor the moment it's roasted. And ground coffee, when packed in ordinary containers where the air can get at it, loses as much as 45%, nearly half its flavor in only 9 days. But Maxwell House coffee is taken fresh and fragrant from the roasting ovens, packed in that super vacuum can from which all air is removed, and then sealed so no air can reach the coffee afterward. You get it roast or fresh. That means full flavor in the cup. And of course, with the new Maxwell House, this flavor is now richer, mellower, smoother than ever before. And to help you make a better cup of coffee, to help you get all this new richness in the cup every time, we offer the new Maxwell House in 2 grinds. Now, if you make your coffee by the drip method, get the special drip grind for every type of drip or glass coffee maker. If you make percolator or boiled coffee, then get the regular grind for better results by this method. So if you haven't yet tried this new Maxwell House, by all means do. It's the coffee you'll find now at all grocers in the same familiar blue can you've always known. And it's selling at low prices friendly to your budget. Why don't you try it tomorrow?
Now a new romantic song, a song of old Hawaii. And Meredith Wilson plays it so beguilingly it will transport you right to those beautiful islands. Why, I can practically see Diamond Head right now. Play it, Meredith.
There's the